Good morning.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Don't tell them what I just did, Angel. Not everyone is watching us on The Big Show TV, but we are on The Big Show TV right now, live on Facebook as well as YouTube, and it's a Thursday, so we want everyone to be especially happy on a Thursday. It's Happy at Work Thursday with the one and only Adrian Chu from Career Agility International. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Glenn, and good morning, Angel, and I'm so happy to be back.
Good morning. We're so happy for you to be here. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, just that title alone, Happy at Work, does it exist? For us, we know it does.
You can choose to be happy at work.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy at work, you can choose to do things that make you happier at work, or you can find a happier place to
You
work.
can leave.
At home.
You can
Yeah, that's
find a
right.
happier
Don't
place
work.
to work.
How about that?
Yeah, you know,
If
and I
if
think
you're
it's
unhappy
good.
at work, then don't work. But it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be happy when you're not working either.
because
So
you got no,
how?
Because
you
you're
got
not
no
getting
money.
any money. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're talking about something like career suicide. I mean, Glenn's been selling it all this morning. Career suicide. You know, how to kill your career.
Yeah, how to kill your career, especially with the proliferation of online social media. How to kill it. Today we're going to talk about several cases, but I wanted to bring up this really interesting article I read last week about this guy. He calls himself IVF Dad.
Okay.
Okay.
And the case, the thing that's surrounding it is that he was retrenched twice. And the reason he gave in his article was that, here's the background story. His wife was going through IVF.
Okay.
And IVF is a very painful, long drawn,
Yeah.
physically expensive,
Traumatizing.
emotionally draining.
Yeah.
I was talking to my older brother who's a doctor, and he was telling me that it's not a fun journey. It's emotionally and physically painful. So the wife was going through it, and him being a nice, loving, wonderful husband, committed to her that I'll be there for you every step of the way, for every treatment, physically I'll be there.
Which is great. Okay.
Which is wonderful,
Yeah.
and for me, I'm a family guy. I always say kids are a blessing. Go have kids, as many kids as you can afford, and family first. But in this case, he took a lot of time off and leave to be with her for every treatment. Now, I have no idea how often the treatments are. I have no idea how long the treatments take, how long he has to be away from the office. But he ultimately, according to him, he was let go. He was retrenched one time, and he said one of those. The second time, the first time he was retrenched, I think it was because he felt that it was because of his non-performance due to not being around, and he felt that the company was not being very supportive.
Okay.
And I'm going to quote what he said. He said, I was scapegoated to leave the company, he claimed. Okay, adding that somehow being a responsible IVF husband made him look weak at work and borderline irresponsible. These are his words. I'll quote.
Okay. So that was from the first company that he got retrenched.
I have no idea. So,
Okay.
So the question today is this: should companies be supportive? Is he right to expect that a company would support him and his wife on a very personal IVF journey? But the bigger question is this: should he have? I don't think he should have gone online, because now no one would dare to hire him, because he's basically badmouthed the company
Okay.
online. I mean,
Did he
that's a bigger
mention-
issue.
Did he mention the company's name?
He didn't have to, but if you go on LinkedIn and you
His history and all that.
yes,
Right,
correct.
okay.
So it's something I wanted to share with our listeners today.
So it's very angry, lah. This guy is really, really angry,
Yeah.
lah. So what
Yeah.
you are saying is like, no matter what goes on at work, don't burn your bridges, lah.
Yeah, correct.
Don't go on and slam your bosses and the company and all that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
as much as you want them to back you up and perhaps maybe
Yeah.
take your side on social media, it's not the wisest thing to do.
Well,
Correct.
there are places to do it like
Yes, Charlie Susan,
Green
why
Door.
are you walking around
Is it
and
Green Door
and like
or
Glassdoor,
Glassdoor,
Glassdoor.
that's the one, not Green Door.
feeling
Green Door's
lost? Oh, that's Shalini Susan who's walking past me behind, because the studio is too small now for us. I mean, we are the big show. Can you imagine if we were all fat? That's it, no?
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen, so we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry about that. Go on.
No, funny interruption. So basically, a few things to talk about today. Do you think the company? And I'm curious to see what our listeners are thinking about. Was the company right to let him go, or was the company not being supportive? And I'm really curious, because I'm leaning towards one side.
I think there are many sides to the story, but we can discuss that.
I'm always with the bosses. So if the bosses let him go, I'm sure they had a good reason for letting him go. Anyway, up next, Grant Perez with Need You Around on Kiss 92. I say that because one day I want to be a boss.
I know. And you want people to
And-
be saying that about you
no,
as well.
no.
Of course, you want to be a nice
Yeah, I
boss
mean,
as well,
no,
right?
but because bosses always have their reasons for doing
Of
things,
course.
you know?
No, that's what I was
And
going to say.
it's
Like,
their vision.
yeah, we don't know the story behind this guy's story.
Yeah.
All we are hearing is his side.
Right.
Right? There are always like 5 sides to a story, right? Did he have a close relationship with his employers?
Yeah.
Did he even let them know that he was going to go through the IVF journey? He said
Yep.
he did, and that's why he was seen as weak and underperforming and stuff like that, right? And it was over a 2-year period. But I guess there are many different reasons as to why, like you said, the bosses would let him go, because he probably wasn't holding up his end of the
No, and
bargain.
sometimes
as
you got
well.
camp up face, so that's it. That's it. That's the end. That's the end of your
Have you,
career.
have you seen this guy's face? You want to
No,
decide?
I've not seen this guy's
Joking.
face. But what I'm saying is, maybe he wasn't very likable.
Maybe.
You know, apart from the IVF, maybe
But I
he
can
stepped on a few toes.
I can understand because it is emotional for
It
him
is.
as well, and I wouldn't expect him not to be grumpy or grouchy at work, because it is a very harrowing journey.
And I
must say.
wouldn't expect him not to be with his wife every step of the day.
What do you mean?
Of the way for the IVF appointments. I would expect him to be there every day.
Really?
Every time. Yeah, of course.
No, no.
No, like, okay.
When you say I is in the company or yourself individually?
Okay, I as both. If I were an employer, but of course, as long as he's holding up his end of the bargain when it comes to work.
If he's hitting his targets.
Yes, hitting his targets, his KPIs, maybe lower his workload a bit. This is a couple that tried for 2 years naturally to have a child. Then they went through 2 years for IVF. And you already said it's a very lonely, traumatic journey. Can you imagine how lonely it would be for the wife just to go alone?
Wait, but like
You
everything
know?
else, it's a privilege if the company lets you go. I don't know how many times, okay, but it's not a right.
No, I didn't say it was a right.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So, but the impression I'm getting here is that he felt like it was his right.
Again, we don't
It
know.
came
We
across,
only, it came
Glenn
across
is
as
correct.
that.
It
yeah.
came across.
See what
So-
a good boss I'll be. Unfair, no?
Very sharp, very sharp. So just provide some context.
Yes.
He was with a not fintech. So he was with a technology startup,
Okay.
which means they're not a company with a lot of resources. I mean, if
Deep
you're
pockets.
like a Citibank with like 4,000 people in Singapore,
Yeah.
one missing guy in the afternoon, no one's going to notice.
No.
So he's with a startup, which I'm assuming is very lean.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So one person missing would.
One man down is one man down.
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, apparently he was doing business development.
Hmm.
So in other words, you really need to drive to hit targets. You need to be
Right.
around.
And grow
you need
the
to be very on
business,
the
yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
It's a very tough to be in a startup world with sales targets
Yeah, and not hit them.
and not hit them.
Yeah.
And if you're not hitting them in a startup world, you're not an asset, you're a liability. Therefore, the pressure for you to step up and hit those targets are there. So I can imagine he's undergoing pressure from both sides, which is tough.
Yeah.
But as for me as the boss, I'm thinking, and this is just me as the boss, if a female employee of mine, female teammate, wants to do IVF, I would support. If she wants the afternoon off,
Yes.
I would.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you're the husband, why? So now that's
Why?
Yeah, I mean,
Angel.
you're taking
No,
the
I'm
afternoon
coming
off.
from the woman's side though.
Yeah, I know
said
that
if
you women are always
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
But
no,
it's not-
you-
it's option. To me, it's optional. I think.
You're saying if the woman goes. So let's say
Yeah.
you understand if the woman has to go for IVF
Yeah.
and you're okay, you give her time off. But you wouldn't understand if the guy wanted to take a day off. I'm not saying that
Absolutely.
he has a right to.
I got a very good example.
Okay.
Okay, both the guy and the girl are working for the same company. Okay.
it's worse.
No. It's
Yeah.
not worse. It'll give you an idea of
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you and your husband,
Yeah.
okay, same company. Company is going to let you go for your IVF
Yeah.
every week, but are we going to let the husband accompany you every single time?
It's very different.
No.
It's very different because if you're working for the same company, then you're taking 2 people out. But if you're working for 2 different companies, then you're taking 1 person out from each company.
Yeah,
it's
but-
very different.
yeah, but so?
resources are a lot less.
I know, but
Yeah,
I will
no,
not
no,
let
no.
the guy accompany the wife. Forget it. Maybe once or twice, but after that, no. You gotta work.
It is a painful, tough, emotional journey. I would 100% say yes, but hit your KPIs.
Get another family
that
member to
you know what I
accompany
mean?
you.
Hit your KPIs or lower your workload a little bit. Okay, we can support you in that sense, but that's the difference. That's what I would
and
do.
lowering workload. I mean,
Yeah.
lowering workload also means basically maybe I take half pay.
Then yes,
Right?
Then
I
yes,
think
yes,
people-
sure.
correct. So
Yeah.
that option, I guess, was
yes.
always on the table. But if you're doing BD,
Yeah.
once again, for a tech firm,
Then try and get someone else to cover your
think,
ass.
I don't think you can even take half day off, or even on half pay.
Yeah.
Because the sales figures need to be hit.
I mean, there are a lot of variables in something in a
Yeah.
situation like this, right? We are not in the situation of him, neither
Sorry,
are
we
we
wouldn't know, but-
his employer.
Yeah. So let me flip it around now.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was the female employee, I would be kinder and say, okay, if it's a guy, if it's a husband, I say that's nice of you, but probably no, sorry, I have a business to run. We are not a charity. I always say businesses are not charities, right?
But if you did a half pay, lesson workload, you're not so
if
it's
it
okay,
works,
right?
it's fine. Then
Yeah.
it comes under the flexi work
Yeah.
arrangement thing.
Which could have maybe been discussed or wasn't at all.
I mean, obviously it was discussed.
No,
and
no,
if
no.
they
It's
say,
not. It's not obvious that it was
they
discussed.
say
though.
no means no lah.
No,
Come on.
It was not obvious that it was discussed.
No,
it wasn't.
If the answer is no, the bosses say no,
yeah.
just take it as a no. That's it. You're working
it's
for
not-
But the
the
Yeah,
question
it's not a
is,
democracy,
the
yeah.
question is, did he even ask for permission, or did he say, "I'm going to take these days off"? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know. I'm just saying, there's so many different aspects to this.
Can
that
we
have
go
no
on
idea.
leave anytime we want to go on leave?
No, we can't.
Exactly. It's part of work life.
Yes,
It's as simple as that.
yeah, I
Just
agree.
because your wife is going through IVF, this is probably the wife threatening the husband.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Wow.
You better come with me, okay?
It's possible
Because you
as
are the
well.
one who wants to have the child, not
I know,
me. Okay,
It's
I know
you're
my
putting-
wife would do
Wow.
that. My wife would say, "You better come. This is our baby.
Right,
you
right,
got to
right.
come." Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you are the one who wants to keep this lineage going. Yeah?
It's
Not
your
me,
name.
okay?
Maybe we'll
Yes,
have.
I'm going to be suffering through
But
this,
the
and
good
then 9
news-
months of pregnancy.
Don't speak on the woman's behalf,
Okay.
please.
But
Yes,
the good
thanks.
news is,
You know how women can drive their men crazy sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. The good news is they were successful
And they have-
they had a baby.
the baby is
Yeah,
10
it's
months old.
wonderful.
But then now-
It's great.
How?
So
It's
now
like
he's a personal
jobless.
trainer.
He's a
jobless.
PT.
He's a personal trainer
He's a
now.
PT.
Okay lah. Then
Yeah.
personal trainer better.
A lot of
lah.
free time lah, but whether it makes the money as previously, that's
No,
another
they earn
challenge,
quite a
lah.
lot. Personal trainers
If you're
can
good,
earn a
if
lot.
you're good.
If you're a
if
good
you're-
person.
If you have a
you're
good
good,
attitude. Oh yeah,
a good
you're right.
attitude,
Yes, good attitude.
you know your stuff. Yeah. So, but the big question again is this. Another question. Do we have time? Oh, okay.
We're going back on.
Okay.
Okay.
My enemy. I swear I'll never be the same. No way. My enemy. I swear I'll never be the same. Look out for yourself.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the TPE towards the PIE, right before Elias Road exit, a vehicle's broken down. Also on the PIE towards Changi Airport, before the ECP, another vehicle having trouble there with congestion till the TPE, avoid lane 2. Finally, on the BKE towards the PIE after Dairy Farm Road's entrance, an accident. Also, if you're heading up north towards Malaysia at the Woodlands Causeway, it's a 100-minute wait, and via Tuas's checkpoint, it is 85 minutes. So plan your journey and stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's Glenn, Angel, and Adrian Chu from Career Agility International. Good morning.
Good morning. So today we're talking about ways to commit career suicide online. And we were talking about the fine young gentleman who was very supportive to his wife having IVF. But, he got laid off because he insisted on being with her for every step of the way, which is really commendable. Fantastic. Where do you find a husband like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Yeah, they'll stay together forever, I'm sure. Hopefully.
But the thing is, he went online and he shared his. He got close to 5,000 likes, thumbs up, whoopee, But sometimes, a lot of times, in fact, always, never, ever bad mouth, because he came up and he said some things that were a bit disparaging.
You
the
said
previous company.
online as in LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, he was on
He did
LinkedIn.
it on
He
LinkedIn.
made some comments on LinkedIn. There was an article published by another online website.
Yep.
And it went viral. And although he didn't mention a company name, he mentioned just one peek into his LinkedIn profile, like what
You'll
you did
know,
just now.
right?
You'll know which companies they were. And it's tough because right now, he basically wanted time off company didn't give him time off, so he felt that he was let go because of that. Now, because he's put it out in the wild already, and in fact, if you look at his profile, he has the word IVF dad
Yes, I see it here.
on his LinkedIn profile as his headline.
Yeah.
To me, that's career suicide because no one's going to hire him anymore. Because A, you badmouth the previous company, and B, and I'm being very cruel here, I'm being a very naughty Adrian here, okay? Naughty Adrian is saying, if I was interviewing him for a job, I would ask him, are you planning to have another kid? Because if you are
you planning to
you going to
take days off?
Yes, correct. And if you are, I'm probably going to select someone else.
Right.
So it's career suicide to go online and do that. But I understand he's very happy now as a personal trainer. So I'm very happy for him. Maybe that's his branding he wants to go out with. And I think if it's your branding, so there are some things that you shouldn't do online, and this is one of them.
Yeah, his companies are all listed on his
It is, right?
profile.
Yeah,
as
they
well,
are. They are. So you can literally poke and see which one.
Where-
But see, the
he's
funny thing
talking
about this
about,
guy,
yeah.
I'm getting this impression, like as a personal trainer, you need to be personable. You need to be, a little likable as well in order to get more clients.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a sparkling personality. I mean, based on the article, like I am a bit irritated as well.
With him.
Yeah, with him. But maybe when I meet him and I talk to him, just like you're saying, right? No person will employ him now, because he's like IVF dad and stuff like that. But we don't know because he might go down for an interview, and because he has such a pleasant disposition.
Yeah.
He might still get what do you call
Work. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
Not
yeah.
everyone's going to hold it against
Oh
him.
no, of course
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, because I mean, when you meet a person, it might be a different story altogether.
Yes.
But you see, I belong to a very tight knit group of very senior HR professionals, and when I shared this case to them last week, and they all said, "Nope, not gonna hire him."
But you see, they've not met him. You see, this is exactly
but
what
the
I
thing
mean.
is, they're not even gonna want to meet him.
They're not going to give him the chance.
They're not gonna
because,
give him an interview.
And you have to get through the hiring HR and
the hiring people
the
are gonna look
recruitment
through,
as well.
So it's tough. My advice is, as I said, if he's happy, I'm sure he's happy where he is. So I'm very happy for him.
I'm sure
but
he's
for
not.
Nice.
Everyone wants no, but everyone
wife
wants
is giving him problems
Not
now,
just
is-
that, everyone wants a solid rice bowl. You know what I mean? Not
but
just
anyway,
gig
he's
economy.
He's got a wonderful child and everything now. So yay for him.
Probably it's not
positives.
easy. Also, I mean, with
Of course.
with a newborn.
Yeah, I know.
And it's expensive.
Cost pile up. Yeah. So
I mean, let's face it. Look, the guy will be happy if the wife is happy.
happy wife, happy life.
I don't believe that, but it's true, right? I mean, if it's the household is unhappy, then he will probably not
Yeah.
be that happy either.
Yeah. So for me, I think it was a happy ending for him in the case of his personal life, career wise.
You still need to pay the bills.
Yeah, I know it's tough. And
They're not happy, I think.
When
Anyway, go on.
I feel like when your finances are not intact, problems start.
Oh yeah.
It's just because stress starts.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, where's our next meal coming from, or how are
Yeah.
we going to pay for the electricity? How are we going to buy baby's diapers and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
You may be happy and in love,
Yeah.
but you can't be happy and in love for a long time if you don't have money.
Correct, and they always say, love is a feeling, right? After it becomes a choice, the
Yes,
feelings
absolutely.
fade away, and you choose to be together.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for some. Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's not an easy
not
journey.
an easy.
What are you
journey.
saying?
Never
The
an
marriage should be over in like 5
No,
years.
stop
from now?
it! Stop it! They have a
No,
child.
no.
Let's wish them all the best.
Okay.
So I have something else to talk about offline.
Okay.
And it's about this other person who also on LinkedIn making a lot of noise, but in the wrong places.
Okay.
Okay. We'll discuss that on the Big Show TV. It's 8:25.
Kiss 92 Time Check by Pootie.
Is it that girl that ran into Piyush Gupta? No. Not that one, is it? Or not that one that didn't run into him.
Oh, that was such a.
What was his
such
name
a
after
wonder-
that? It was like some Ramesh something.
Oh no! It's
They actually identified the guy.
yeah.
They did identify
And he
the
said
guy.
that
He
it was-
does look like
No,
Piyush.
and apparently, like the whole story there was a whole story after that she said it wasn't even her that put it up. It was her intern social media manager that
Yeah,
put the
yeah, and
post up
blackmailed her and-
blackmailed her to pay her the money because so you can get these people to put posts up for you, and if they get a certain amount of likes, you pay them according to the likes, right? So she had agreed to pay her according to the likes, and she got the likes for this post. and she apparently refused to pay her intern and stuff like that. So who knows what the true story is, right? But she sent screenshots as well of the chats.
I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
it's,
It
it's
sounds a bit.
damaging.
But it's very. It stinks.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
There's so many questions.
So
many
coincidentally, she
questions.
ran into someone who looked like someone famous. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
how often does something like that happen?
Yeah, it's so funny, you know. But the case I wanted to share with you is about this individual who has been posting on LinkedIn, treating LinkedIn like a Facebook page.
Oh, no.
Okay, and posting this guy suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. He hates Trump. He hates anything to do with Trump. So your post, everything is about Trump is this, Trump is that, Trump is this, Trump is that.
And you're
He
connected
thinks
to
it's
this
what?
guy.
He thinks it's Facebook or what?
Yeah, correct.
That's exactly what he just said.
Correct.
Yeah.
He thinks it's Facebook. So he goes, he tries, so anything that, Trump said this, Trump did that, or no, everything else, JD Vance, this. Oh goodness, it is so
Stop
damaging.
already.
It's so damaging because, so bottom line is this, do not make political statements because you're going to piss someone off.
Or religious statements as well.
Yeah. So my dad told me 3 things you never talk about: politics, religion,
race.
no,
Well.
soccer.
Soccer.
Oh,
Because if
that,
someone-
that applies to radio these days as well.
You see,
Really?
I'm a Man U fan and some
Soccer
Liverpool.
is okay, but
so
yeah.
some Chelsea fans or you never know.
Yeah.
So the 3 things to stay off: race, religion. Yeah, I guess that's the major one.
Unless, of course, you're supporting Everton. Then no problem.
There's nothing to talk about anyway.
No problem. See how times have changed? Once upon a
Yeah.
time, I wanted to be associated with Manchester United to be competitive with my then partner, the Flying Dutchman, who was
Yeah.
a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, who is,
Because look,
yeah.
you can't be competitive if you are Everton and you're dwindling in the bottom 3, for decades. You know what I mean? But now it's different. Now supporting a team that is
Low
like Everton
expectations.
makes you well loved.
You're so much calmer now. You know,
Exactly,
he doesn't come
right?
in like, oh my god, I can't believe that they did
Yeah, I don't feel like kicking people in the morning. No, because of Manchester United.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, now everything, blood pressure level, everything is fine. It's like so good. I'm telling you, if you support the wrong team, it'll kill you.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah,
Health wise, yeah.
it's true because we're so passionate, right?
Yeah.
Stay up in the middle of the night
Yeah,
just to
that-
watch
that's
the
why
matches.
So
Yes,
little
no.
sleep.
Because people are passionate, you don't want to step on toes. And the thing I gave him advice to say that no, you got to tone down on the postings. He said no. He said this is my point of view, and I said, do you know that? And this person was looking out for a job, and I floated his profile to one of my clients who's HR VP, and I said, will you hire this guy? Straight away she looked at it. She said no. Why? She said because my company. She said her company does things. It's a US based company.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And even it's a US based but very liberal. It's not a pro Trump type of company anyway.
Yeah.
But she said the moment if I need to send him up to headquarters
To anywhere. Yeah.
at the airport,
Yeah.
all
yeah.
they need to do is to look at his post and they'll turn him away.
Yeah.
And that's what immigration does these days. You know, they look at
Yeah.
your Instagram, they look at your TikTok,
Yeah.
and they trace back and
Yeah.
see when you're trying to get your visa to go into certain countries and all that. They look at all that.
Yeah.
So it's just not being wise.
Yeah.
But you know what is the reason why I suspect he's doing all this?
Why?
He's chasing likes, chasing clicks.
Oh.
Because whenever he
Does
posts something
he get-
inflammatory, he gets the clicks.
Okay.
But at what cost? So a lot of times, and you go online on LinkedIn now, you see a lot of people posting rubbish
Yeah.
just for the clicks, like the Piyush Gupta one.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
Just put- and I think it's silly. It's not right to just chase the clicks.
So how
Some
does,
people are just like that. Period. Really.
how
They're
does
not
someone-
wise.
Attention seeking. So just for the just for the fun of it, over the weekend, Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was suddenly posting pictures of I love my dad. I got this. And
I miss my
I miss
dad
my
and
dad
all
and
that,
everything. And this person put up a post for, I don't know who this person. It just
On
flashed
LinkedIn as
on
well,
LinkedIn,
or- oh, okay.
of the dad who passed away like 15 years ago and
Yeah.
started telling all the sob stories about how the dad. And to me, it's like you're just what's what I call manufactured vulnerability. You're just trying to appear vulnerable, you know.
so that people feel for you.
so they like your click your product because
Yeah.
everyone knows.
Correct.
Okay, everyone knows the social media game is like this.
Yeah.
You can put up a great article.
Yeah.
People will read it. They may not click the like button, even though they love it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But if it tugs at your heartstrings, then you put like, love, and everything. So a lot of very clickbaity type of posts. You see those get a lot of likes.
Yeah.
They're trying too hard to be emotional to draw you in.
That's
To
it.
the point where
Trying too hard. There are many
being
people
very
on
fake.
social media trying too hard.
And their posts
some
are
of them,
so
they
long
don't
as
even
well.
look like models, but they think they are models. So they'll be posing and posing and posing and
influencer. So
yeah, exactly. Trying too hard.
trying to-
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, if you
But
are
people
on-
fall for it. That's
people
the
do
thing,
fall
you know
for
what I
it.
mean?
People
There
do
are
fall
so
for
many
it.
idiots out there that are just like, oh, you know, this must be your life.
no, like your LinkedIn posts, I love them.
Oh, thank
Angel.
you.
They are to the point.
Do you
They're
not
on,
like my
on
previous
brand.
one? No.
Never seen your LinkedIn post.
Because you're not on LinkedIn. You have a profile. We
Very
keep
soon,
saying-
everyone will have to get rid of their LinkedIn accounts. Just like, from Facebook, people have moved on to Instagram. There needs to be a new LinkedIn because now it's getting a little bit rubbish. Lah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure something will come up, but at the moment,
Yeah.
it's still LinkedIn.
There's actually a term for it. Someone coined it when technology gets very good, very popular, and then it goes really, really hot, and then it starts getting lousy.
Yeah.
It's called the enshittification.
And shitification.
Yes, it's a real term now. The enshittification of LinkedIn.
Oh,
or the
wow.
enshittification of. So it's really funny. It was very good. You can Google it. It's really funny. The enshittification of
I like
a
that.
platform.
Like
So-
Friendster.
Like friends. Yeah, correct.
And shitification.
But you know what? I think it takes all types of people, to make this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone like that just now that you mentioned, right? It's just unwise, and he's probably born like that. Like he's got a bad attitude, probably. I mean, we've all come across people like that.
We
Sometimes
have.
we're like, hey, why can't they change? They can't change. You know why? Because they were born like that. Like that Lady Gaga song.
Born
They
that
were
way.
born that way.
Yeah, born
Okay.
that way. Yeah, born like
Going
that.
back on it.
And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the KPE towards the ECP, a broken down vehicle at Buangkok Drive exit. And also on the ECP heading into the city, a vehicle's having some trouble after the PIE Tuas exit. Look out for that. If you spot anything else, BRIs on the roads, 88550920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Adrian Chu, CEO and founder at Career Agility International. If you want to send Adrian an email, you can do so at info@careeragility.org.
Okay, so Mall has said LinkedIn is so fake. The posts are mostly AI generated with bot-like comments, virtual signaling max. Yeah, I don't like that everything is like, before you're about to post, they're like, would you like AI to do this for you? I'm like, why? Really? I mean, we can type, we can think on our own.
Yeah.
It's getting very tiring, this AI thing.
It is tiring. In fact, honestly, I have stepped aside away from LinkedIn because I think there's so much manufactured
Posts.
post up there,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is AI.
Yeah.
And if it's something, if you're a domain expert, okay, you don't need to have AI.
Yeah.
Or if you just use AI to frame or to phrase things, I think it's fine if you're coming up with original content. But if it's just something you just... So there was this person who wrote a poem. And you can clearly see that it was not written by that person.
Oh, it was
and she
generated.
passed it off as her own poem, and she said,
Oh, no.
yeah, a poem about life,
Oh
about
my
work,
gosh.
about everything. It's like, oh no.
And all of a sudden, this person's a poet. You're like, oh, where'd that come from? It's like, I
this
had
person-
enlightenment.
and I'm a grammar Nazi, and this person I know has bad English, so it's
Oh,
obviously clearly
right.
not written by.
When I see you smile. Wasn't that a bad English song?
Yes,
Sorry,
it
that's
was.
a-
Yes.
that was a long
Bad
time ago.
English.
Bad
That-
English.
That song was released before I was born. Anyway, Kartik says, good morning. I do not fully agree with Adrian's comment. Agreed. Sharing things on social media is not fine. When he says just because he will take time off in the future doesn't make him automatically unhireable. If that's a word, he says. Is that what you said earlier on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said this guy can't be hired because based on the kind of stuff that he's put out there about his ex-company and calling himself IVF dad.
That
and
he would do the same in
that
future.
he might do the same, and people are going to say, are you going to have another child? Are you going to go through this IVF journey again?
So I okay, maybe it's going to be tough to land a job. I hope it does, because he's still looking out for one. I wouldn't hire him. Period.
He's
Okay.
clearly looking out for one because his profile picture says
Open
to work.
He should hire you, bro, and hire you
I
to
would-
look for
I
a
would-
job
I
for
would
him.
do. I would do a lot of damage control. For
Yeah,
him.
there you go.
He can do it, but he has to do a lot of damage control.
Yeah.
Okay, let's speak about that. How does someone damage control something like that?
Yeah,
I mean,
remove-
just very briefly.
Remove everything, but no,
Remove the
it's out
post.
there. The problem is it's out there. You see, it's out
Never
there.
mind the stuff in the
Just
www.
remove the IVF debt.
And then remove his post on LinkedIn.
Yeah, maybe.
The post that got all the likes.
remove it. And start focusing on the branding he wants to have. It's fine if you want to start an IVF debt business group or
That's on
whatever it
Facebook.
is. Yeah, then that's fine. But it's dangerous. So, you got to scrub. You got to do a lot of scrubbing, unless you want to own it and embrace it. And it's me.
Which is what he's doing.
Yeah, which
clearly.
is fine if it's your career strategy that you want to be the personal trainer that does IVF, who's very caring, and I think if that's your branding, then by all
Yeah.
means go ahead.
But let's also not write off the possibility that this entire IVF journey has taken a toll on both him and his
course,
wife, and
yeah.
so maybe mentally, he was stressed, and he might have done things that perhaps maybe now looking back, he feels he should not have done.
I mean, everyone who does something at that moment thinks it's a good idea.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I
until-
I've done stupid things before.
Until
so
you
yes.
take some couple of nights of sleep, and then you kind of wake up and you go, "Oh, crap,
crap.
maybe
Yeah.
I shouldn't have." So everyone does do things, and they always think it's a great idea at the time.
So that's why today, we want to share with individuals and all listeners out there that you have to be mindful of what you say in public, what you post on LinkedIn stays on LinkedIn forever. In fact, on anything on the internet it stays there forever. And if you've been a habitual poster of political statements and everything, it's hard to scrub all 600 messages that you've done over the past 3 to 4 years. It's tough to do that, and if the branding sticks, it sticks for a certain. So just be careful about what you post.
Yeah.
Be careful of how you're perceived. I am on my Facebook page. I do get a bit naughty sometimes, cheeky,
Right.
but it's fine because it's Facebook.
It's calculated naughty.
Calculated naughty.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Up next, Ed Sheeran.
This is brand new. Here's a tune that
Okay.
Because I'm a bit of a troll on my Facebook page, so I like to poke fun at. My friends who are very rabidly politically leaning to one side.
but
either way.
Facebook is okay.
But Facebook is okay.
Yeah.
You know where to draw the line also lah.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yeah. So it is careful. So the other thing also, and these are things that are not plucked out from the air. These are things that my HR friends are telling me. Okay, and me as a career coach and me as a headhunter also feel if you post too regularly or too often, doesn't matter whether it's on LinkedIn. I know this individual who posts at least 2 posts on LinkedIn. Lunchtime, this is
A
why.
day?
This is why. Yeah, a day.
No.
This is why I eat. This is
no.
what, because she's of this belief that the more I post, the higher my
people
profile
will see.
becomes, the more people, the faster I get hired.
Yeah, that's
But-
TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's TikTok.
TikTok.
That's TikTok. You got to, because she's trying to beat the algorithm.
Yeah, TikTok. You got to do it like 3 times a day before you're like up there. It's very tiring.
It's tiring, right?
but
Yeah.
not on LinkedIn at all.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is that when people and companies HR, they do audit your social media
socials,
presence,
yeah.
okay, your socials. And especially, or even if you're hired, you're in the job right now, if you're not in job seeking mode, if I'm the boss and you see this person posting on Instagram 3 times a day, on LinkedIn twice a day, it's like,
What am I paying you for?
are you working or not? It's like, seriously, it's like, everything. So posting
but
too often, being too much online.
But I have a secret. I mean, if you are really on your LinkedIn or your Facebook and you really want to post and you're not working, you can actually schedule the post
Yeah.
to go up after you finish work. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
But I think
correct.
people have that feeling that they want people to know what they're doing at that moment
Yeah.
because they want people to think that they're busy or having lunch or
But yeah, exactly.
You know?
I don't like it. For me, if I see someone posting, okay, so there's this other lady. She posted a picture of her over the weekend, drinking beer
LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn.
Oh.
Okay, a picture of her beer and saying that I party harder than I party really hard.
Okay.
And it's
Oh,
fine to
dear.
post it, okay? It's fine to post it on Facebook, but she posted on LinkedIn. And the most important thing is she posted it at 12 in the afternoon
On a weekday.
on a weekday.
Oh my god.
And I know it's not her then because she had short hair in that photo. I know she's got long hair.
So it's an old photo.
It's an old photo, but everyone else who didn't know think, what if I'm the boss, I'm gonna. She's
Exactly.
partying hard on the Wednesday afternoon at 12. You know, she's with a huge mug of German beer. You know, it's
And
like,
even the colleagues will look at it going, oh, and not even notice the hair because that's like
Yeah.
inconsequential, right?
yeah. So it's there. Had another friend, had another individual, who went on leave. Unfortunately, he booked the holiday. He booked his vacation way before. Okay, and it coincided with a very peak period for all his colleagues. Very peak period. The boss said, "Can you cancel it?" He said, "No, I've already taken the leave. I've already bought the tickets and everything. I cannot go. Cannot cancel it." The boss offered to pay. I'll pay.
For the tickets
for the
and
tickets and everything,
yeah.
you know, because we need you.
Yeah.
He said no.
Oh.
I already committed to my wife,
Family.
my family all wanted to go. They all prepared this. So the boss said, okay, fine, go. No, it's a 10-day trip to somewhere really far away.
Okay. It was a big trip.
Yeah. And he goes there and he starts posting his holiday photos on LinkedIn.
Oh dear.
Oh, I'm having this, I'm doing that, you know, I'm doing this and that. And really wild photos. And all his colleagues, while they're all slugging it out, they're like, huh.
Yeah.
When he came back, the resentment built up.
It's like,
It's like
don't
rubbing it
don't
in,
you
right?
wish you were here?
Yeah. Oh no.
Everybody thinks they're a Kim Kardashian.
Yes, everybody thinks people want to see what they're doing.
You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
you know, people... How do I explain this? Everyone wants to be a celebrity. Lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the likes.
You know what I mean? Look, if Glenn Ong is putting his life out there, I think there will be some interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without sounding too arrogant.
True.
It didn't sound arrogant at all.
But it's true because I seldom share my life, right? Oh, let's say, okay, you go on social media right now and online, I think everyone hates me. Seriously.
Dude, no.
There is no one who likes me.
No.
I'm serious, you know? For example, like when news broke of me and my divorce, if you go online, I mean, I don't check the comments anymore, but if you go online, no one's on my side.
Oh no.
Seriously, right? But when you meet me, you will absolutely
your
fall
mind.
in love with me.
Yeah,
That's
I
the thing.
totally agree. I totally
You know that
agree.
sitcom, Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yes.
Everybody loves Glenn.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like the sound of that. But it's true. I mean, Glenn is the kind of person that has that persona that people think, you know, he's an ego maniac.
And that
He's
I'm always in the wrong.
always in the wrong, loves himself too much, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You're you. But when they meet him, then they know
Yeah,
that.
because
you know,
there's
They know that he's the only one praying for wisdom his entire life.
this is true. Yes, that's all he prays for.
Decisions, right?
yeah, and there is the online persona and the person.
The on-air,
you got to
yes.
split the two
Of
because
course.
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you guys are ruining my image.
The
Yeah.
soft underbelly.
I've
you know,
seen
the-
I've seen his eyes well up as well. So
yeah, so that's why. But you know, it's don't chase likes. I agree.
Yeah.
Just don't chase likes. You're not an influencer if you have to try so hard.
yeah.
And even if you're an influencer, so what?
And honestly, you know, the like chasing is no longer in. People are going for authenticity these days.
Yeah.
You know, the highly produced YouTube videos and stuff like that. People are not liking that as much as the person holding the phone in front of them and going, "Hey guys, so you know we're here, this and that." They prefer stuff like that now because it's realer,
The
right?
problem now is that there's so many fake AI, you know,
my
those
gosh.
camera, the AI generated videos that talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but you know
realistic.
who we really need to respect? The influencers out there. Because they have chosen this as
yeah.
their career.
yeah. It's
and
not easy.
it is the hardest thing in the
and
world.
and the successful ones like Mr. Beast.
Right?
Oh my gosh!
They
Wow,
make like 58 million a year.
he's
Easy.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy. It's crazy and
It's a whole production. They have teams.
it's a team.
Yeah.
It's a team.
Okay, let's go for traffic.
Yeah. Cheyenne's about to throw the red card on you, Adrian.
Can't see.
You're breaking me, la 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 la. You're breaking me, la 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 la. You're breaking me, la 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 la. You're breaking me.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, a couple of new situations have popped up on my screen. The first is on the PIE towards Changi Airport at the Mount Pleasant entrance. An obstacle has been spotted, not quite sure what that is. Also, at the junction of Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1 and Boundary Close, another accident has been spotted there. Heavy traffic all over the place, including heading up towards Johor. If you're at Woodlands, it's 105 minutes. And if you're at the Tuas Causeway, it's 65 minutes. Plan your route and stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We've been speaking to Adrian Chu from Korea Agility International. Korea suicide. I think we've more or less covered it today, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
So
what
the-
not
the-
to do.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is number one, don't badmouth companies or
Oh.
ex-bosses, online, offline, anywhere. Even offline now. Just
But-
sharing with somebody and then the world is very small in Singapore. You circulate back again.
You can do it anonymously via Glassdoor,
You could,
right? I mean that's you could do it, right?
but once again, I always,
No?
I don't know, my dad always said, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
But I
Well,
mean, you okay? Oh yeah, okay. Not bad.
Then I
mouth,
would
but
not
if
have had a career then.
If you have a bad, if you've had a bad experience with a company, you can go to Glassdoor, right?
No, that's true. I mean, if you want to, and contribute to the wellspring of rumors and bad. I don't know.
You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan of Glassdoor because, as I always say, if you go there, it's only unhappy people who would go there
Yeah.
to say bad things.
Yeah.
So I don't know how true it is because the guy's emotional enough to open up a fake account and badmouth the company. And then the super good ratings are usually HR going in to do damage control.
Got it.
So whenever I see Glassdoor comments, I'm wondering,
Who is
a
it
shovel
by?
of salt, you see. The good
Yeah.
ones or the bad ones, I don't really know.
Yeah.
So that's one. So I think don't do that. Don't sacrifice your branding just for likes on social media.
Yeah,
Don't do things that chase the likes but hurt your branding, hurt your image.
And I think there needs to be different kind of content for LinkedIn and for Facebook and for Instagram and for TikTok.
Yes.
Everything requires different kinds of posts and content. You cannot share one post across all
That's
four
true. That's
platforms.
true. And do you need all that anyway? So,
Yeah.
so for me, I keep my LinkedIn to professional posts,
Same, yeah.
information to share information, to update people. My Facebook is just being cheeky half the time.
And it's just for friends and family.
Yeah, friends and
It's
family.
not for the public to see.
Yeah, and I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Insta. So
Okay. Yeah.
I don't do anything you guys are
No,
doing.
you don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need
Not
to.
at all.
You don't need to.
The world is a vampire. You know what? I was just thinking about the Smashing Pumpkins. They're coming down to Singapore this year, right, for F1.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I just spoke to a few of my friends, Swing and her husband Darren and my friend Jeremy. You know Jeremy as well. And yeah, I just want to say this. I think we are going up to Busan for the Busan Rock Festival this year.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wow.
The lineup is absolutely amazing. It's
Sounds
from
like
the
fun.
26th to the 28th of September.
Right.
And yeah, Suede is performing.
Oh, so
The Smashing Pumpkins are going to be there.
Wow.
And Baby Metal as well.
I
Oh,
don't know
wow.
who that
So
is.
I've not been to Busan. So yeah,
they're the
just,
Japanese
just putting it out
heavy
there.
metal band.
Oh, okay.
Rockman, girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Of
why
course.
he's going. He's only
That's right.
going because of Baby
And don't ask
Metal.
me how I know.
Yeah, you have a lot of information on something you don't know.
I don't
Let's
know.
all go. Let's all go. How about that?
Sounds like
Okay.
fun.
Thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us today.
Oh, good. Yeah, have a great long weekend. No long weekend.
Long weekend?
Sorry, no.
Is
My
it a
days-
holiday on Monday?
No, because I'm taking leave tomorrow. So.
Long weekend for you.
Yeah, so have a great weekend ahead and stay safe and have fun.
All right. Coming up, headline news and sports with Ruben Danaraj.
The